Ladies and guys who want to know if girls putting their Instagram or Snapchat in their Tinder bio is a deal breaker, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet, founder of killyourinaloser.com. This is the Inner Winner Show. Let's fucking go. I am absolutely fucking exhausted and wrecked and destroyed. I've just started a bodybuilding routine with a new bodybuilding coach and shit like that. I swear to God, I can barely even. I'm working at a standing desk when I record these podcasts. I can barely even fucking stand up right now. Like, leg day is an absolute bitch when you're just getting into a new routine. Like, DOMs to hell. My legs are fucking jelly at the moment, but let's get into it. So, I'm going to do a few podcasts over the next, like, maybe couple of weeks or so related to my Tinder guide. In the intro, you heard me say I have the best Tinder guide on the internet. I'll leave a link in the description below to it. It's fucking massive. I poured months and months of hard work into that thing. It's like 130,000 words, really in depth. I'm going to do like periphery content around some of the topics in the Tinder guide, like questions that I've gotten asked, concerns people have, things people are not sure about, all that kind of stuff. And one thing that comes up quite a lot is if a girl has her Instagram in her Tinder bio or her Snapchat, is that a deal breaker? There's two ways of asking this question, or there's two different questions that can get asked here. The first one is, will you ever sleep with a girl who has has an Instagram or a Snapchat in her Tinder bio? Of course you will. Yeah, sure. I've slept with plenty. Are there some girls that put their Instagram or Snapchat in their bio just to waste time and basically to farm likes, to get guys to message them or follow them on Instagram so they can, have more validation? Absolutely. How do you know the difference between the two of them? You're never going to know the difference. This happens a lot. People will preemptively they'll try and preemptively almost mind read if a girl is actually going to be a time waster or not. And there are signs, sure, there are red flags, there are things that stand out, but for the most part, you're never really going to know if a girl is going to waste your time until you take your shot. Until you actually take your shot and hit on her, ask her out, ask her for a number, any of that shit. You don't know if a girl is actually a time waster or if she just kind of looks like a time waster. And sometimes you get the opposite. There'll be a girl that seems super into you, seems like she wants to meet up and all that, and then you get right to the point where you're like, cool, are you free on Friday night at 6 p.m.? Actually, do you know, I'm sorry, I'm just super busy lately. I don't know if I have time to meet you. And you say, but I thought you were like super keen. What the hell? Like, this girl was telling me that she wanted to meet. She was excited. We had good chemistry, it seems like, at least from, the messages. She seemed into me. The second I say, let's meet up, she makes excuses. So you never really know until that moment you take your shot. So can you sleep with girls who have their Instagram or Snapchat in their bio? Abso-fucking-lutely. Is it a deal breaker sometimes? Yes. But as in those girls will waste your time, but you're never going to know that until you actually get to the point. So this is why we talk about playing the numbers game, hitting on, as many women as you possibly can, matching with as many girls as you can, improving yourself, improving your pictures, getting to a point where you have a bunch of girls that you can message and match with and get on dates, because some of them will fall away. Some of them will seem super into you and they just won't meet up for whatever reason, one of a million reasons. It doesn't even matter the reasons. This is a numbers game. Some girls aren't going to meet you. Some girls are going to waste your time. Some girls are going to put their Instagram and Snapchat in their fucking Tinder bio just so they can get some validation. Some girls are going to put their Instagram or Snapchat in their Tinder bio and then still meet you. I've slept with plenty of women like that. So take your shot. It's a numbers game. Talk to as many girls as you can. If you have your time wasted or you get frustrated by the fact that some girls just seem to be wasting time on Tinder, that's not so much a reflection of women as a whole. I see too many guys do this, that they'll get frustrated by a couple of women who are wasting time, who are on there just to farm validation, on Instagram and Snapchat, and they'll say, women just like to waste time. No, not all women do. Plenty of women will meet you and fuck you on the first date, if that's what you're into. Some women waste your time. Your job is to focus on what you can control. What you can control is your own looks, your self-improvement, your Tinder pictures, messaging more girls, paying for more Tinder boosts and shit like that, going outside and talking to women, not just only using Tinder or Hinge or Bumble to get laid. Like, there are women outside that you should be talking to as well, or that you would benefit from talking to as well. Doing everything that you possibly can to maximize your chances. So you won't care if some girls are wasting your time. You won't give a shit if some girls are just on there to get Instagram and fucking Snapchat, like, you won't give a fuck. Because you'll be like, what do I give a shit about those women? I'll quickly figure out if they're wasting my time because I'll keep it nice and concise. I'll just say, hey, what are you up to? Let's grab a drink, blah, blah, blah. If she doesn't give me her phone number, cool, unmatch. You haven't wasted any time. That's why I say don't sit there for weeks and weeks and weeks messaging girls before you ask them out, before you say, hey, let's meet up for a drink, because you're just going to waste your fucking time. You'll get to the point where you finally work up the courage to ask them out for a drink, and they'll say, oh, I don't meet people, or blah, blah, like whatever bullshit excuse, right? You've just wasted several weeks of talking to someone that was never going to meet you. So keep it super concise. Message 3 or 4 times and then ask for her number. As soon as you get her number, hey, like, are you free 6 p.m. Friday? Are you free this time? Like pitch a date and a time. Get her on a date. On the date is when you guys can talk. Don't waste time on Tinder. It's an impersonal. You're talking to a fucking, like, do you really want to talk to this fucking thing, this fucking phone? No, you want to talk to someone face to face. So keep it concise. Play the numbers game. If a girl has their Instagram or Snapchat in her thing, it's not a complete deal breaker. You'll sleep with plenty of them. Some of them will waste your time, fine. But the way around that is to keep it concise, play the numbers game, and then you don't care if some of them are wasting your time. I will leave a link in the description below to where you can go and check out my Tinder guide. It's completely free, 130,000 words, all that good stuff. If you want access to coaching and stuff with me, I'll leave links in the description below to that. And then, as always, let's all go out and crush our goals together.